Yeah, my people, welcome back again, man. You don't know it's Nicardo Media House out here again, man. We're here to preview the game Haiti versus Jamaica. You know that play in Trinidad tomorrow, but on Thursday, a couple days ago, we played Grenada at the Kirani James Stadium and we won that game 4-1. I didn't review that game, I get caught up doing some stuff, but look, I'm going to give a couple of details on what I thought about that game because that was kind of a little bit, I was a little bit shocking and kind of embarrassing moment where we won, but the performance wasn't up to standard facing a really poor Grenadian team. That ranked 173 in the world, but people bless up on yourself. Thanks for supporting all the videos. Thanks for supporting the Nicardo Media House Channel. I really appreciate it. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Tomorrow is a game against Haiti, but the game on Thursday, Jamaica won that game 4-1. Goals scored Lambert, Bowser, Gray, and Reed. But I would say, the first 20 to 25 minutes of that game, we played a lot of ground passes. We control the game. But it wasn't that smooth going forward. Most of those passes were in our own defensive third and in the central midfield. From there, from the midfielder to the striker, it's like there was a disconnect. I don't know what was going on, but a team like Jamaica, still searching for their identity under this new coach. He's been there for like just over a year now, so I was expecting to see a lot of different stuff by trying to play our own game, try new stuff. This is a Grenada team. No disrespect to this Grenada team, but they are nowhere near our levels. We have players that played in the Premier League, in the Championship, in the MLS, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the Jamaica Reggae Boyz, I think, especially Damari Gray, when he picked up the ball sometime, I think he was just trying to do a little bit too much showing off. But I don't know what they just thought on that day, if it was no, it's Grenada and all of that, and yeah, but we want to stamp our class in games like these. You want to show what the Reggae Boyz team is all about. The coach is I'm getting this feeling. The coach is not that big, and I would say like philosophy, gameplay, and all. The team will look at team chemistry out there. You just want he's all about the result. Yeah, he shouldn't. He's not wrong. But at the end of the day, if we can play a real camaraderie game together, collective football, it will be a little bit more easier when you come up against big teams like the US, the Mexican, and the Costa Rican, more organized teams. You want to play the ball a little bit run more smoothly. You want to know where your players are running, all of that. But I think, when Romaro Williams and Boza in that first half, it wasn't so bad, but I didn't see much link up plays between the two of them. Sometimes when Romaro dropped deep, Boza will run off the shoulder, but then when the ball get to the midfield, it's not connecting to the forward. So, that's where I break down. But in that game, we had what 59 possession in that game. 59 possession. We took 7 shots on the day, and I would say that's kind of clinical. 7 shots on goal, and 4 of them went in. Kudos for the players for that. We created 3 chances in that game, and we scored 4. Daniel Johnson came on. Deshaun Bernard gave Damari Gray that ball, that long pass on the left side of the on the flank. Bobby Reed created a chance. So but one of the things we didn't really get enough overlaps from Gray, Tevon Gray and Craig Lee. We didn't get much overlap from them, as they only had one accurate cross into the box, and that is really poor on a Jamaican standard when you have 2 big men up front like Boza and Romaro Williams. Players that standing over 6'3" tall. So, we need more accurate crosses into the box. The center half, they were bypassing the midfielders a lot of times. The midfielders were open, and they were just looking over them and just whipping that ball long. But I have a few stats to give. In the game against Grenada, we the Jamaica Reggae Boyz, they had 67 long balls, and 41 of them were accurate, and that is what 60 to 61 percentage, of accuracy of long balls. That is way too much. 67 long balls. That's a lot. Deshaun Bernard had most of them. He had 15 long balls in the game. One of them worked, and that's how Damari Gray got his goal. We had total passes. We have 416 total passes in the game, and in our own half, we had 197 passes in our own half, and in the opposition half, we have 156. That shows a lot. That tells a lot that we were just knocking the balls around with each other in our defensive third. We didn't do much penetration, in the game. So in that game, that shows that we didn't do enough penetration and all of that. But Bernard and Gregory and Hector, and Daniel Johnson, those players were the top three players that had most passes, in the game for the Reggae Boyz, as Deshaun Bernard is a centre half, Gregory is a left back, and Daniel Johnson only came on the pitch in the second half. Daniel Johnson have 30 pass. Deshaun Bernard has 71, and Gregory have 52. Latibodier and Kevin Lambert, they played the whole 45 minutes, and Daniel Johnson came on the pitch, and played most of. I think he came on and just in about the second half, but for him to play, less minutes than the previous midfielders and still had more touches, Daniel Johnson a player that he's more want to get on the ball and do something and create. The kid came on, Kerai Anderson, he looked really good as when him and Daniel Johnson was on the ball. Both of them were trying to make things happen. Both of them were trying to go for the ball from the defenders, but we need to fix stuff like this. We had 416 passes, and Deshaun Bernard had the most passes, 71. Gregory 52, Hector, 48, and Daniel Johnson 30 passes. And that I think Kera Anderson have more passes too than Lambert and Latibody in the midfield. So we need to fix things there. We need to get that midfield really sorted out, because when you come up against good teams, it's going to be hasta la vista. I swear to God. But look, the coach, I don't know what the coach. He did a few press conference, the build up when they were naming the squad, and he just said a few things like, it's not really important and about the philosophy how the team play, as style of play, but he needs to do something. We need to get someone in the midfield can grab a hold of the ball and create. But many times the midfielders come for the ball short, and the defenders, attempt to just go long, 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 and that's not good. It's really not good. Trust me, it's really not good. But at the end of the day, we got the 3 points, and that's what matters. We are 7 points. Playing 80 tomorrow. It's going to be a battle in Trinidad at the Ashley Crawford Stadium. It's going to be a battle. Who watched that Trinidad game? Last night. That was a really good game after 2-0 down with 10 man, and came back to score wonderful free kick. From that Trinidad number 9. James. The stadium was rocking yesterday, man, when Trinidad scored that goal, after score that winning free kick. I think that was in the 85th minute of the game. I was watching that game, but we're going to move on for the preview of the game, Suriname versus Haiti. Haiti have some big news, previous squad, one of the main players, Nazon, he wasn't in the squad. He picked up an injury. He played for CSK Sofia in Bulgaria. He's back in the squad. He played against Suriname a couple of nights ago on Thursday, and I think he was a man of the match. He created I think 3 chances. he he created two chances. He took 36 touches on the ball. He had 67 successful dribble percent. Yeah, he have 67 successful dribbles, and he attempt shots on target 3 out of 3. But he's going to be a very key player for Haiti coming up tomorrow against Jamaica. I can tell you that. But they played a game in Suriname, and that game. It was a really good game just to see the Haitian play. But you could see that coming into this game, they lose out. They lost a lot of energy. Because the Surinamese players were just giving it to them. The big man for Suriname, Becca played for Union Berlin. He got a few chances in the game, but he didn't score. But I think Suriname first score, Haiti came back from behind to draw the game. But Haiti controlled the game with 57%. They created 3 chances. They took 22 shots on target. Half of those were 22 shots on goal, and half of those shots were on target, so that was 11. But expect the same thing from this Haiti team. They're just going to pick their opportunity when to counter attack this Reggae Boy team as they did. They scored, I think, 2 goals in 3 or 4 minutes in the national stadium. Just by our mistake, our errors. But as this Haiti team, they don't really press your eye in your own half, but as soon as you get the ball in their own half, and it's like they set up the opponent team to pass the ball to the weaker link, and as soon as that player get the ball, they just trigger press, and as soon as they win the ball, they already have like 3, 4, 5 players ahead of the ball already, ready to receive the ball and punch that team at the counter attack, and that's what they did. By our own mistakes that we made, they just counter attack us and score 2 goals. But in that game, in the national stadium like a month ago, Blake made a few shots stopping. I think one of them was in the first half when if he didn't save that ball, we went, I think, 3-0 down, and he made another one, a 1v1. I think it was from our set piece. It was from our corner. I think that game at the point it was 2-1. It was 2-1, and he made another save. And if they should have scored that goal, that should have gone 3-1 and just killed the game. But they didn't score. But the Reggae Boys in that game against the Asian, we controlled possession, but we just didn't manage to penetrate them enough. We just again knocking the ball around in our own half in that area. But this team will struggle to beat without playing with a solid structure. To be honest, if you're not playing with a solid structure, you're going to come up against a tough 80 team and you won't beat them. They can score. They show that they can score goals. I think they gone, I think, around 12 games now. They scored in all, even if they lose, they scored in all those games. So, they have a pretty good record. But as soon as, we came up against some quality teams, it shows that the midfield is going to struggle. That is a priority for the Reggae Boys. Fix this midfield, and playing against at least 80. We should show at least some dominance, but we're not showing our class. Even against Grenada, we're not showing our class. So I don't know what the man them doing. The coach have to get it right. But in the game against Haiti, we had 71 passes, no 71 percentage of possession in that game. We made 465 passes. 168 of those passes were in our own half in the second half. In the second half, yeah, most of those passes were in our own half. In the opposition half, we had 198. And when we get 198 in the opposition half, is that when we were chasing the game. So we were actually moving the ball forward a bit more quicker. And you can see, I think, right after we Damari Green shoot and that own goal and went and we done 2-1, we just start to get a little energized in our play. We just start to play with a little urgency, but that's how we start to penetrate these Asian teams. And we finally got that goal when Romario Williams came on the pitch with a penalty. To shoot the ball and it hands. But some key players for this Asian teams, I said it. I call one of them name already. Nazon, the striker. Luisius, the one that scored the double in the national stadium. Cantave. He's the one that scored the goal on Thursday against Suriname to equalize. I know the second strike, Picoult, those four players going to be really key on how this Asian team, played in the transition against us in Trinidad. But some of the ways, how to beat this Asian team, Mikel Antonio is back, news that, he's in Trinidad, he's training, so more likely he will start tomorrow. Probably seeing him and Shamar Nichols up front, Romario sit on the bench, but set piece is going to be really key. We have to make sure our set pieces, for a team like the Reggae Boyz, we have to work on our set pieces. We have some strong, tall players, Deshaun Tall, Mike Collector, Greg Lee's good in the air. We have Damian Lowe, we have players like Romario, Boza, Mikel Antonio, Dujan Whisper Richards, we have some very powerful players, even Kevin Lambert have height, so Kerry Anderson is really good in the air too. So we have to work on our set pieces as this Asian team. They struggle on set pieces. We saw it in the World Cup. We saw it in the last couple of games. Even when we played them in the national stadium, Boza got a header, Pinnock got a header from a corner kick. We created chances from corner kick. So we should look out for even doing something from set pieces. This Haiti team, we have to force them to play a long ball. We have to trigger press them. We have to make sure that they don't get comfortable, bringing the ball out as their defenders. They don't like to play under pressure. That's what I noticed. Even in the Suriname game, Suriname, the striker, Becker, he pressed them. And as soon as he pressed them, they just panic and kick away the ball. And then the Suriname team just recycle back that position and just come at them again, and the next thing, we don't need to hold on to the ball too long, and that was one of our biggest downfall after that game a month ago in the national stadium. A player like Leon Bailey, everyone. I'm not singling just one player, but Damian Lord, these players were just holding on to the ball and the Asian just bumping us. They played really physical, they're really physical on the ball. So, we have to move around the ball a little bit more quicker. We have to get our wingers, isolated 1v1 with their fullbacks. As their fullbacks, they're really poor, coming up against wingers, especially going direct at them. They don't really like that. So, we have to create stuff like that. We have to create more chances. We have to create more chances, for attacking players. And whenever those chances create, we have to finish. We have to take our chances. As in that game, I think Boza got like 2 or 3 chances that he should have scored, and he just flops them. But it's going to be a really nice game tomorrow. To be honest, it's going to be a really good game. In Trinidad. I hope whoever, the Jamaican people them that living in Trinidad and Tobago can come out and watch a game. Saw that game last night against Trinidad play Guatemala. It was, I would say, it was because it was the biggest crowd. No, that game, Trinidad and Guatemala played last night. I don't see a crowd in the national stadium for us that supporting the boys. Trinidad got a really good support last night. Rallying their team and cheering their team on. So we need things like that whenever we play back home in Jamaica. But tomorrow, man, is the big day. In Trinidad, they're coming up against a very good Asian. This Asian team actually seeded ahead of us in this tournament. They seeded right above us, and I think below us was Panama. So I don't know, but I'm just hoping we get a positive result and we can tap this one so we get a less, a high seeded team in the quarterfinal so we can go on and win and go through to the Copa America. Want to play in the Copa America next summer. I want to be there. That's why I want them to qualify. Not only me, but for the fans generally who want to support the boys in the summer coming up against Brazil, Argentina, Ecuador, Uruguay. Yeah, we want to see our players get the best preparation for this World Cup qualifying coming up next year. So yeah, that's it for the preview, man. Bless up everyone. Thanks for watching. Just comment if you managed to watch the video this far. Smash the like button if you're new. Don't leave without you click the bell. And tell me what your score predict, what you guys think will happen tomorrow in the game. So thanks for watching, man. This is the Nicardo Media House. Peace out. Salute.